All right, so doing another pour over test. That was a bonus. So today I went with yesterday's favorite, the Cafec Light, versus something that I thought would be very different, the Kono Silky. I was gonna put it up against the Cafec Medium one, but I was afraid that would be too similar, and I wanted to hopefully get some differences that are noticeable. So yeah, there is a difference. I may have mixed up, I may have, not been exact with the pouring, so that could have had an effect. For one of them, I was supposed to pour to like 180 and I poured to like 186, and then, yeah, anyway, just off a little bit. So this is with a 5 pour recipe again. So I didn't explain it in the previous video, but basically I've been doing a thermal shock, it's called something else, cut bloom, the cut bloom method by my friend Eduardo in the Pour Over Coffee Lovers Facebook group. The chat there is pretty active if you need tips for pour overs. So yeah, he came up with this. Basically, you do a little bloom, regular hot bloom, and then you do a cold bloom after that. So the first 2 pours are blooms. They're smaller pours. You wait, let it off gas. These are really fresh coffees that I've been using for the last couple days. So I've been giving it a good minute from the first, after the first bloom, and then another 30 seconds after the second cold bloom. And then you resume with regular hot pours. So I was doing a modified version of that recipe. I don't use quite as high temperatures as they recommend, but it's been working out with the 5 pours. The only issue with 5 pours is that you end up stalling at the end, which is a good test for the filters. Although I think I might change it up and do some more tests with like a 2, 3, 3 or 4 pours instead of 5. I always do get some stalling at the last pour, at the fifth one. I did notice on the new one, actually here, let's switch them around, because this cup was the Kinto Silky, so it's supposed to be even faster than the regular Kinto filters, which I haven't tested side by side yet. But yeah, it flowed faster than the Cafec Light, which was slower than the one yesterday, the Cafec Dark. As expected, people say this one, people recommend the dark one just because the light one doesn't flow as fast. But I think faster isn't necessarily always better. But yeah, so the Kono Silky did pretty well though. It did stall like a tiny bit at the very end on the 5th pour, but not quite as bad as the Cafec Light, which had a lot of leftover stalled coffee. And I let that drain into this cute little ramekin, I think they're called. And then I tasted it, and it actually didn't taste over extracted. It tasted like okay coffee. So I tried it first without that added back in, and then I added some back in. I don't think you need to do it, but I like to get the most out of my coffees, and I wanted to compare with the same brew ratio, so I reincorporated most of that just to be fair. But either way, it didn't change it that much. I found this one is more well-rounded, smoother, less acidity. I thought there might have been more body and more of a juicier texture in like overall. So I'm still enjoying the Cafec Light despite the stalling, just like yesterday's. The Kinto, the Kinto Silky did really well too, though. I like acidity in my cup, and this coffee, I'm using a different coffee than yesterday. It's another Ethiopian, but it's a very different Ethiopian. So this one was more, it has like it's kind of basic, where it's just kind of roasty, a little roasty, not like that roasty, but kind of just chocolatey smooth with like a good tart acidity. So I'm getting more of that tart acidity that I've had in this coffee before in this one. I think it's still present in this, just a little toned down. So I like them both. This one is a little sharper, a little either brighter or more acidity, but not in like an unpleasant way. So last time with the Cafec Light versus Cafec Dark, there was a clear winner where I definitely preferred the Cafec Light over the dark. Yeah, but this one I like them both. So both good cups of coffee in different ways. I'm curious, maybe I'll try it with a different coffee. I think we'll need a rematch for these two. Um, but yeah, they're I'd choose both of them, or yeah, both. Not either, not either or, but both. um, but yeah, it could be a fluke. I'll have to test more. But yeah, so far happy with both of these, with this coffee at least.